Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Point, Click, Love. This week, one of my fabulous readers, Tiffany, submitted a question after a blog post I recently did about sharing your photos out and getting them off your computer. She writes to me, "I loved your ideas for printing photos, and I am set on making a 365 photo book. Can you do a post dedicated to these ideas, please? I'd love to hear how you approach your projects, see a little bit of the inside of a book and the layout for one you've created, and see how the pictures or pages are labeled, if at all, etc." She goes on to say, thankfully, she's been putting away her photo a day pictures along with the date, and she's ready to prepare her book, but she's completely overwhelmed with the process. So, Tiffany, I am more than happy to share with you what I've been up to. I have two of my paper coterie products here to share with you today. This right here is one of my Instagram books that I created. If you've been following along for a while, I'm doing a 365 plus one project of my daughter Beryl this year. And you might be surprised to know, Tiffany, that with my 365 books, I'm not actually labeling anything. I decided I wanted to make this really easy for myself, so I've just dragged and dropped the photos right in, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And I tried to stick to the dates as best as I could, but I really went more for which pictures do I want big on the big pages, which are my favorites, which ones do I like the best, and which ones look good together. Sometimes the colors or the feel or the mood of the picture, there were certain ones that I thought went the best together. So I tried to pair those on specific pages and layouts, but I didn't end up dating or labeling any of them. So that's one of my Instagram photo books for my 365 project. I also wanted to share this guy right here. This is a paper coterie memory box, and I was blown away by the quality when it came in the mail. I also used Instagram photos for this particular box, but I needed something to get all of that artwork that comes home from my daughter's school put away and nicely somewhere so that when she's older I can share it with her. And this box is huge. I believe it's 8 by 13. The front has 4 pictures. The back also has room for a picture and a quote. And inside, hopefully everything's not going to fall out, I have all of her artwork. I'm also going to put things like her hospital bracelet and her footprints and some of those things in here. And when this one's full, I'll probably go make another one and start filling it up with more artwork. But those are two of the products that I found that I've loved. They're super easy to use, and I'm going to show you now how I organize my photos on my computer and how I pull up paper coterie and get my books done super quick. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly give you a sneak peek of the files on my computer and how I organize my pictures, and then how I take those and upload them to create my paper coterie books. So I'm on a Mac computer, so all my folders are stored in Finder under Pictures. And you'll see I have a couple of different systems of organization depending on what kind of photos they are. But typically for my family photos, I organize by year. So if we go on into 2012, I've labeled all my folders with the different events. Another way I've seen families label their folders are by month. And one day I may go back. You'll see some of these actually do have the month on them. And I may go back eventually and make a folder for each month and then drag these events into those specific months. I just haven't had time to do that quite yet. But this makes it pretty simple for me to go back and find photos that I need to. For my specific 365 book that I just showed you, what I ended up doing is I uploaded the pictures from my iPhone, all of them, back to my computer. And I actually have those in folders right here. Those are outside of the year. So I have an iPhone and an iPhone 2. I don't have any rhyme or reason for when I put my iPhone folders on my computer. It's just typically when I see that I have like 900 images on my iPhone that I upload them. So I haven't really organized my iPhone pictures by date. But what I did was once I uploaded my iPhone pictures, I did come into my 2012 folder and I put all my Instagram pictures into folders here because it's the Instagram ones that have been my 365 pictures. All right. So I also divided those out by month, and this is probably the process that takes the longest, is getting those pictures from the iPhone separated out by month. So I have all my August pictures in this folder, July is here, and September is here. And if you take that time to organize them on the computer, it makes your work in paper coterie so much easier. I would say that the organization process of getting them from the iPhone folder and sorted out here probably took me about an hour or so. I would block out about an hour to do that. And then from here, I am going to go ahead over to the internet, and I am on Paper Coterie's site right now. If you don't have an account, you're going to want to create an account, but I am logged in already. So I'm logged into my account, and I used their photo books. Now, one book I didn't show you that I have used before is one of these just normal hardcover books. They are amazing also. Their pages, it's a hardcover book. The pages are a little bit lighter than my Instagram books. I made an IM book earlier this year, so that's one that I've used. And those pages are a little bit lighter. They're coil bound books, which is what I'm using for my Instagram My Life collection. Those pages are really nice, thick cardboard. They're really heavy duty, so it'd be really hard for Beryl to rip the pages out of them, which is awesome. And that is what I used for the book that I showed you. So I'm going to click on one of those. And they do have coil bound books that are not square format like Instagram. So if you have pictures from your DSLR, you can put them in here also. You can select a size. So you can either do a very small 5x5 or an 8x8. I made the 8x8 book for my photo day project, the larger one. And then you click on create, and it brings up their interface to create books. Okay, what you're going to have to do from here, and this is why you create an account, you upload your photos to Paper Coterie. And that does not take any time at all. It's still loading. And I can show you down here, this is the cover. I can go from page to page down here, so you'll see these are the layouts. And if you don't like the layouts, like what I ended up doing was counting how many pictures I had for the quarter, and there were too many photos in this book. So I would just come into here and click on one and maybe delete it and then drag this into the middle. So you really do have some flexibility with what you do with this layout. And I would eliminate some pictures to make sure that I had just the right number of spots that match the pictures for the quarter. Hopefully that makes sense. So I did some tweaking to my layout, and then if you go to My Photos down at the bottom, this is where you upload. You can add more, which is what I had to do initially, but then you'll see down here I have my September pictures, my August pictures, and my July pictures. And so all I do is go into those folders and drag and drop the pictures in. Okay. Like I said, I kind of looked through to see which are my favorites because there are some of the pictures that have these really big photos, and I wanted the ones that I really, really liked to be in those bigger slots. So that's what I did there. When you finish dragging and dropping, you can preview your book, and then if everything checks out the way you like it, you order it from there. I hope, Tiffany, that helped answer your question, to see a little peek of how I do my organizing and editing, I would say from start to finish took me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to finish a book. But once I got a system of organization down, it went really quickly, and I've been really, really excited with the results and with the quality that Paper Coterie offers. Now you know what time it is. I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment below, and I want you to tell me this week what you are planning to do to get your photos off of your computer. Did you see any ideas today that have inspired you to start your own photo project, maybe even in Paper Coterie? I want to hear about it. I want to hear all your ideas, and I want this community sharing all those fun things you're going to be doing with your pictures. And as always, for even more photography lessons to nourish your mind, body, and soul, come visit me over at BerylAnnYoung.com.